Will there be a way to make use of post 780 parts per minute for Mk.3 miners? So that's something that we will address at some point, yeah. We will address that at some point. That's my understanding, yeah. Yeah. Any plans of a 1200 min per minute belt or miner? Probably not. So as I was saying before, we get precision issues as the number of units in a throughput or like that are being generated or sunk or even fluids, right? When these numbers increase, we actually like mathematically, and not just mathematically, but like there are just technical issues and like limitations that start to cause issues. And so I think that if anything, there might end up being a point in time where we scale down everything, just so that we don't have to deal with that technical limitation so much anymore, and you guys can have more precision. But it, like in a relative sense, right? So it will still essentially be the same game. It's just like less numbers. And then, so if I take your question then, like, is there going to be a 1200 per minute belt, or is there going to be a faster belt? Maybe, if we can get around these technical issues, there could possibly be. Floating point precision issues. Yeah, so it is floating point precision issues. That's one part of it. But it's also like, the other issue is also like, the way, now, I don't know this, I'm trying to think of this, if I can get this correct. But it's also a matter of like, when you're, how many items gets processed per frame, right? Now, if there's like, if you've got items zipping through, and in one frame there's supposed to be like 6 items that go into a building, because maybe, I don't know, you have a low frame rate, or there's a spike at this one moment, or if the belt is so obscenely quick that happens, accounting for all of these different like movements within the factory, in the factory tick, can be really tough. I think you can only actually do, the way it is, you can only do like one at a time or something like that, and then I think we have to then simulate frames to make up for it if there's like a one long frame. I don't know, all this like weird shit. So it's not just the floating point precision issue, which I think is there as well, but it's also like, how do you handle if there's a lag spike, or if there's just low FPS and there's a lot of items that get, produced or sunk into a building? How do we handle that on conveyor belts, or split or merged? How do we handle that? Like completely accurately, right? Because you guys will know. If there's like a 1% sway, you will notice it in your factory, won't you? You will. Like your power will go out, or buildings will be like backed up. Like you will know it. So it really needs to be really, really, really precise, like 100% of the time. Otherwise, you will feel it in your factory, and that's a very hard issue to solve, especially on like computers, where frame rates can be variable and all that kind of stuff. So, update 7 was a huge improvement on your lag and lag spikes. That's good to hear. The math haunts, yeah, it's a combination of like math and just like algorithmic logic kind of shit. It's like, how do we handle it? How do we handle it? What do we do? There should have been 10 items that went into this building. What do we do? How do we calculate that?